Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast. Ozcast. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive with us. And today we're taking a look at some pretty interesting moves happening down in South America, specifically Argentina. And we've got an article here from mining.com.au. And this is about American Salars and some really big moves they're making down in the Lithium Triangle.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff. I mean, we're seeing this company, American Salars, is going all in on Argentina as a source for lithium.
So just for our listeners out there, you know, you're interested in understanding this company's expansion and, you know, what it could mean. So let's jump into it. So basically, big news here. American Salars is significantly expanding their presence in this region of Argentina, which is, super rich in lithium.
Right. Yeah. And this region we're talking about, it's called the Lithium Triangle.
Right.
And it's not just some catchy name. It's a big deal because this area, it covers parts of Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. Yeah. Holds over 50%. Yeah. Of the world's lithium resources. I mean, just think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's massive. I mean, that's more than half.
Yeah. So when we're talking about lithium and, the future of electric vehicles, batteries, all that, this region is absolutely crucial.
Absolutely. And speaking of big numbers, this article is talking about a 1,635% increase.
Oh, yeah.
In land size for American Salars. So I mean, that's got to be huge, right? I mean, break that down for us. What does that actually mean for them?
Well, they're not messing around, that's for sure. It's essentially controlling more land. It's simple in a way. It means potentially more lithium. Right. Right. And that translates to more market power, more influence. They're already working on this project called Pocitos 1. Yeah. Which already has a pretty sizable lithium resource.
Yeah, this article says 760,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent.
Yeah.
And just for me, because, I'm not a scientist or anything. Yes, can you put that into perspective? Like, what does that actually, what does that number mean in the real world?
Yeah, so lithium carbonate equivalent, that's kind of the industry standard way of measuring, how much lithium is actually usable. Right. For things like batteries. It takes into account the different types of lithium deposits and all that. So, when we see that big number, 760,000 tons, think of it this way. I mean, that's enough to power potentially millions of electric vehicles.
That's a lot of Teslas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to even fathom that scale, but that's the potential we're talking about here.
Okay, so they're expanding their land. They've got this massive amount of lithium already, and they're heading to PD. Right. Which I understand is a pretty big deal in the mining world. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about what goes down at PDAC?
Yeah, so PDAC, it's this massive mining industry convention. It happens every year in Toronto, and it's basically the place to be if you're in mining. I mean, you've got companies from all over the world showcasing themselves. Okay. You've got investors looking for opportunities. It's all about networking, making deals. It's a real whirlwind.
So it's like speed dating for mining companies.
Kind of, yeah. Everyone's there to see and be seen.
Got it.
And, for American Salars attending PDC, I mean, it's a pretty clear signal they're looking to drum up some serious investment. Yeah. They want to show off this expansion, attract partners. Right. Maybe even find some companies to help develop the technology or infrastructure they need.
Okay, so big expansion. They're attending this major convention. Yeah. And the CEO of American Salars, Nick Horsley, he's quoted in this article as saying, this acquisition is a, quote, game changer, unquote. Yeah. So what do you think makes this a game changer? I mean, is he just hyping it up, or is there real potential here?
Well, CEOs, they love their buzzwords, right?
Right, of course.
But I gotta say, in this case, there might be some truth to it. I mean, think about it. This move could really catapult American Salars into a major league player in the lithium market. I mean, they're in a prime location. They're controlling a huge amount of resources. And on top of that, this kind of bold move, it attracts attention. Right. It attracts investors. Right. So, yeah, I'd say there's definitely some game-changing potential here.
Okay, so bottom line, it seems like this is a a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Not just for American Salars, but potentially for the entire, lithium market.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all connected, right? And here's something to think about, as these companies are all scrambling for lithium, what could that do to prices? What happens if the price of lithium goes way up?
Yeah.
Does that make electric vehicles, less affordable for everyday people?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's something that, we're all kind of hoping that electric vehicles will become more accessible to everyone. And, if this could drive prices up, that could be a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. I mean, it's a complex issue with a lot of moving parts.
For sure. So listeners out there, a lot to think about, a lot to consider. And, as always, we're just trying to bring you the information and help you understand, these complex issues. So, this has been a fascinating deep dive into American Salars and the future of lithium. And we'll be back soon with more explorations.
Sounds
of
good.
the topics that matter to you.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.